Good morning, people. I think I'm live, but I'm not positive. Today is Friday, January 3rd, 2025. And here we are in southwestern Nevada, between Sin City and Death Valley, in Area 51-ish type territory. This is Department of Career Services, and our goal is to help you, our students and interested people, on their journey through this life. No big deal. No big deal. I'm trying to share this with someone. Sorry, Pink. Okay. Yeah. So, is this all there is? Boom, we're born, we die, or a bunch of stuff happens, and then we die. Are we just atoms in the void? Well, according to this book, no, we're not just atoms in the void. It says so right here. We're not just atoms in the void. We have a transcendent soul. If we have a transcendent soul, then that means we're not just atoms in the void. And if we have a transcendent soul, is it possible that someone came back to help us prepare for that? That makes a little bit of sense. And is it possible that that entity that came back to help us prepare for that was also the creator? And is it possible that that creator became incarnate, meaning took the form of a human, of us, or one of its creations? Do we have any evidence for that? We do. We have the Shroud of Turin as a relic that looks like, again, here's the evidence. It's something that's at least 700 years old, could be 2,000 years old, but at least 700. And we don't know how it was made, and we can't reproduce it. And there's no other thing like it. So, evidence, right? Good morning, What Not a Bevy. What a Not Bevy. Not what a bevy. Okay, so the evidence seems to me, as a matter of science, we have transcendent souls and the Shroud of Turin is real. If those two things are true, does it mean perhaps we should take what the owner or the person that the Shroud of Turin represents or is made from, should we take what that person says seriously? I would say yes. Okay, so we're here to help our students and other people on that path. Now, if you are already saved, good for you, super. We're not like some of those other people that know you're not saved unless you do it my way. If you're saved, great, thumbs up, you're already there. This is for the rest of us. This is for the people, especially those who say, God can't forgive me, or I can't forgive myself, or God is punishing me, or God does not exist. This is for those people and the people who are not successful here, who have become wage slaves, as they're called, or sheeple. They just go along and they're squandering the gift of life. They're not honoring the gift of life that we have all been given. All right, so that's the intro. How are things in Fort Jack's, What Not a Bevy? I gotta say, if you take a step back And you just think about it. Being able to converse in basically real time with somebody in Florida is amazing. It's amazing. 100 years ago, say in 1925, I don't think they could imagine it. Yeah, one day we'll be, but they couldn't imagine how they could do it. Blessed, it's a beautiful day, working till 6, joyful, good. Hopefully you're putting your money in Bitcoin. If you have Cash App, it's easy to do. It takes you about 10 minutes. You can get it set up on the bus. Just do automatic. Good. Bing, bing, bong. And then don't look at it. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. But you can think in terms of in the store, would I rather spend $5 on this drink or buy $5 of Bitcoin? And that way, if Bitcoin doesn't go up as much, at least you're going to have something more permanent than that drink. Yes. Yes. Okay. So, just don't tell your brother you're buying Bitcoin because he's like, no, gold. We have to have gold. Gold. Okay. So, right. Okay. All right. What's our meme of today? The meme of today is the pursuit of happiness. And that is from the TED Talk today, which is Viktor Frankl, Pursuit of Happiness. Always one of my favorite things to study is Viktor Frankl. The meaning of life. What is the meaning of life? So let's just look at some quick things first, and we'll get into that. Advice from an 80-year-old. Sing in the shower. Why is that good? Why would you say that's good? What, not a bevy? Why would it be good to sing in the shower? Beep, boppery, bop. It's whimsical. Well, that might be true, but what I'm looking for is it releases neurotransmitters that make you feel good. Because you're not going to sing a song that makes you feel bad, right? So you're going to sing a song and it's going to release neurotransmitters, and those neurotransmitters are going to make you feel what? Good. So Simon Sinek would say, good system. Sing in the shower. It's going to make you feel good. Even if it's a song, that was my song with my girlfriend. That was our song. Boo-hoo. Oh, I want to give a shout out to Moria, not Lesria, Moria, because she watched the podcast describing the, I don't even want to say non-Galileans. This is going to be the last time I'm going to do that because that's giving something to a totally made up phony thing that too many people believe is real. So, but a better way of deciding whether this is the right person for me. And I think Watnata Bevy needs to have her boo watch that and comment on, would I be willing to do that? Well, it's a little bit too early in the game, but yes. Anyway, Maria sent me a text last night, which I will read. I'll try to interpret what it says. It say, okay then, the engagement, beep, the name we shall not mention party is on. I'm announcing it. We are at Pedro's for a short New Year's celebration to pick up where we left off. He will invite his friends, and I will give you all with me at Pratt. And I will something at Pratt for an evening engagement party at Pratt. You officiate it. How about that? So that's to do the thing where he gives the gift of his heart, brain, body to her for some period of time to decide whether this is really the thing to do. So we call this a field test. So good for you, Maria. So we'll see how it is. And I think it's scripturally accurate because it will be in public and in public announcement, etc., etc. Okay, proceed onward. All right, so that's the advice from an 8-year-old. Sing in the shower. Seth Godin has a good one. Does it work? Yeah, I'd like to be able to talk about that. I don't know that we're going to have time because time is racing. It's 11 minutes in, and talk about pursuit of happiness. Viktor Frankl, psychotherapist, World War II, Jew, could have escaped. His parents couldn't, so he stayed, went to the camps. Parents, wife, all went to the camps. He had it slightly better because he was a doctor. Not that they let him be a doctor, but he could provide doctor type services to other people while he was there being trained and educated in medicine. He observed, some people die in the concentration camps and some people don't. And if I look at the people who die, some die because they're gassed, some die because they're sick, some die because they kill themselves, some die because they get killed by the Nazis. And that all kind of makes sense. Some just give up and they die. They get sick and they die. But here's the interesting group of people, the ones that don't die. Now, why do they not die? Why doesn't everybody die? Why is it some people don't die? And he came to a conclusion that they saw beyond, they could imagine beyond concentration camps. So they had something to live for. They had something to live for. And in his book, Man's Search for Meaning, he gives some examples of going through his brain of how this all played out and how bad, sad, depressing, on the brink of giving up, on the shaky floorboards of doubt, as Nancy Kane says. And he was able to claw his way through it, to keep going, because he could have a vision of a better future. And that pulled him through. And so then he flipped it around and came up with his, he started logotherapy before that, but his logotherapy of meaning, man's search. So life, a good life revolves around man's search for meaning, i.e. the pursuit of happiness, which is happiness cannot be pursued. It has to be cultivated. You're not going to find happiness by doing this or going there or meeting this person. You're not going to find happiness in that. It has to be cultivated. And, sort of the most simple, basic thing is if you can't be satisfied with what you have, then there's nothing you can get that will satisfy you. It has to be cultivated. Happiness has to be cultivated. It's not to be found. It's got to be cultivated. And one of his premises is to get away from the standard model of asking, what is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of life? Now, ultimately, he'd say the meaning of life is to figure out what is the meaning of life. Man's search for meaning. Okay. But one way to turn that around is to say, well, I don't ask the question, what is the meaning of life? Life asks me the question, What is the meaning of your life? And I have to cultivate that meaning. So I can do it in various ways. Love, in nature, things. There's a lot of ways to cultivate meaning, but you don't ask, what's the meaning of life? Life asks you. And I think there's an interesting parallel to that is people, wherever I go, I universally see people pray for God to show them, to do something for them, to give them something, right? It's from the outside. I need it from you. Where Jesus said the kingdom of God is within. Nurture it. So use the power to go forward. So it's, to me, it's sort of the same things. We don't ask life, what is the meaning? We don't ask God, what is the meaning? God asks us, here's a gift of life. Go honor that gift. Make me proud, son. Make me proud. And we get to go out and do that. And it's a very short period of time. For us, eternity would be 13.8 billion years. Time started with the creation of the universe. It's stretched out 13.8 billion years. It could go for who knows how long. That would be the potential of eternity, but eternity right now would be from the beginning of time until now. Boom, 7.84 mile walk if every step was 1,000,000 years. A lifespan of 100 years is the width of a hair on your head. So, what does that mean? That means there's not really a difference between suffering and non-suffering. It's what you do. You have this gift. It's only going to last that long. Try to do something with it. Make something happen. Don't be sitting there, please give me this. Please give me love. Give me grace. Give me salvation. I worship you. I am not worthy. Okay, let's quickly go to Seth Code because it's a short one, but a good one. Does it work? That's the first question. The second question is, how do we make it work better? These two questions, patiently repeated, lead to incremental improvement and an understanding of reality. The opposite approach is, because I said so. Reality might not care what you want. Okay, so does it work? A corollary to that, or a parallel, another parallel to that would be, yes, but will the dogs eat the dog food? And the key word, the emphasis is on eat, right? And there's a big, you can contemplate that a lot. You can contemplate that a lot. We don't really have time, but it would be to say, think about dogs and dog food. Do the dogs buy the dog food, right? You can do a lot of packaging, a lot of promotions, a lot of marketing, a lot of advertising, but at the end of the day, it comes down to, yeah, but will the dogs eat the dog food? The dog owners might buy the dog food once or twice, but will the dogs eat the dog food? That is the key. Does it work? Okay, we're going to sign off for now. What, not a baby? Hope you're there. Have a good day.